Hey, what's going on, everyone? My name is Fernando Corona, and I am a real estate investor. I'm an entrepreneur, and overall, just trying to build a lifestyle that I want to live with my family. Thanks for tuning in to today's video. We're going to be talking about the top 3 banks that I've used, have experience with, and why I like each of these and why I don't like each of these. I'm going to go into as much detail as possible that I think is relevant to know about these banks before you hop into them. These are online banks. I'm not talking about the Chases or the Cities or your credit unions. We're talking about online banks. And I'm going to talk about why to even consider an online bank. Okay, I still have a bank with Chase, but I'm going to get into why I even have online banks. Let's hop into it. So the first thing we have to answer is, at what point do I use an online bank for my small business, and at what point do I use my hard bank, or a brick and mortar bank like a Chase? And the way I separate the two is my Chase bank is getting all my consulting income. This is income that I can easily bring in through my Chase business account, easily transfer because I have a Chase personal account. My wife and I have a joint account, and we have my business account. I can easily move money in there, do an owner's draw. It's very simple to use. Chase takes Zelle for business or personal Zelle. So in that instance, I'm using Chase. Why would I want to use an online bank? I have real estate properties outside of California. I have entities outside of California, and those businesses are either raising capital, investing in real estate, managing my real estate properties. There are reasons why I need banks outside of California. So when I think about opening an online bank, I want it to be quick. I don't want to sit down with the banker and do that whole spiel. I don't want to do that every single time I want to open up a bank. I want to be able to send wires and ACH right quickly. I don't want to be limited with my wires and my ACH transfers. And we're going to talk about a few of these banks that limit you or charge you. I hated when I went into my Wells Fargo, and they said, hey, we have to put a hold on your transfer, or we have to put a hold on your deposit, right? I didn't like that. And that's not how I wanted to run my businesses. Always thinking if my money's going to be put on hold for a certain period of time, or if they're going to limit how much money I can withdraw from my account. And so I am going to talk about with these online banks, what I like about them, what I don't like about them. But that's kind of how I start to distinguish. So my California consulting business has a hard bank like Chase, and that's cool because this is where I do all my money transfers or whatever. But then all my businesses outside of California that don't need a California bank, those are all my online businesses, and that's why I have banks online to handle all that stuff. So now we're going to get into the first one is Novo. And Novo probably has done the best job in terms of marketing themselves. Super sleek design. Let me log in so I can show you guys. I don't use Novo anymore. One of the things that I love about this, honestly, when it was like the activity or being able to see like how things were doing when I was getting like some financial insights. You can see how your cash flow was doing over a certain amount of time. So if we go I guess the most I can go is 1 year. So there was I guess highs and lows and all that stuff. This was when you're testing it out and you're trying to see okay, what do you like about this thing? Funding account, transferring stuff in here. You just get to connect your accounts, enter the amount, and then send it in here. And now they started issuing debit cards. So you can create virtual cards, have those created so you can create an unlimited amount of virtual cards, which is pretty cool. So if you want to make sure that nobody can, have access to your card info, you create a virtual card every time you put it into a new vendor. And then now you're getting a new card created specifically for that vendor. So you don't have to just use the same card all the time. It's all going to the same account. Me personally, I use credit cards anyways. I don't like using my debit cards. So this really doesn't really add value to me. Invoices, this is where you can start creating invoices to charge people. All right, so you can create invoices, as you can see, and then send those out, get them paid directly in here. There's apps that you can directly integrate. So if you wanted to connect your Venmo account, your PayPal, your Wise, your Cash App, or any of that stuff, and you wanted to directly import that into your bank account, you could do those connections. And that way you don't have to worry about, necessarily moving it from Venmo, connecting the bank. There's other steps involved where this is like easy integration. So why don't I use Novo? What don't I like about it? I personally, they limit your withdrawals. This is the biggest issue for me. And there's one time where I think I had, over, I don't know, however much, $15,000, $20,000. And I was trying to just pull the money into a separate account or get access to it. And they limit you to $15,000 that you can pull out at once. And so I'm like, why would they do that? I mean, it's just for small businesses. They make money by obviously using our money. But that was one of the biggest turnoffs, just the fact that they limit you. There you go. Transfer limits. All right, check this out. So, okay, this is a few things I didn't like about this. ACH per transfer is $5,000 limit. You can request a limit change. I've seen this go up to like $15,000. It's honestly been one of the biggest hassles though. The fact that they limit you to $5,000 per transfer, even to start, is a huge, huge bummer. And you can see, right, this per month. You can only do up to $50,000 per month. So imagine sending your money into this and you need access to that money, but you're limited by your withdrawals. And that would suck. And you'd have to do it, for like 5 days or whatever. So transferring a lot of money into this and then trying to get it out, for me, that was just like a scary thought. I don't want to be in that position. So that's why I kind of said no to Novo. Just didn't want to deal with it. But the other reason is they don't even have wires. You can't send a domestic wire. So for some of you who don't know what a wire is, it's just a different way of sending money. There's ACH transfers, there's wire transfers, there's money orders. Right now, obviously, that with crypto, there's different ways of transferring money, but these are all different ways of moving money from a bank to another bank. And so not having the ability to send out a wire from my bank account was like a huge no-no. So for that reason, I had to axe Novo. All right, let's move forward. The next one we're going to talk about is Brex. Now, Brex was my favorite account. This was my favorite online bank for the past year. And there were so many ways that I was making money even within Brex, because they were giving us referral bonuses of like $500. And I was making money just by having my accounts here. Every new business that I started, I'd open up a Brex account, which is free, and I'd make $500. I would just continue to refer my businesses. Now, Brex has recently decided to stop servicing small businesses. They are primarily servicing like private equities, startups that have large amounts of capital. They're just trying to tend to a different clientele. So I got an email recently that said they're going to be shutting us down and actually shutting down my account. So I needed to transfer all of my money out of there. I can get into the behind the scenes of how Brex works, but for the most part, this is more of a reason why we're not going to be able to use Brex moving forward, even though I was a big fan of Brex. So I was really bummed out to hear that. They ended up partnering with Bluevine and said, hey, we suggest you go work with Bluevine. The problem that I had with Bluevine is, again, they have these limits. They limit how much you can transfer. So yeah, they're limiting how much you can transfer. They also had issues with wires. So again, just not the type of online bank that I wanted to move into. What I loved about Brex is that wires were free and there were no limits. You could wire $1 million, you can ACH transfer $1 million, and that's something that I really liked about Brex, that I didn't feel so limited when I was with them. And their support was amazing. So I'm really bummed. Not gonna lie, if you can't tell, I'm really bummed that I'm no longer gonna be using Brex. Okay, now we get into who I'm actually using, and this is Grasshopper Bank. So I've been searching a ton, interviewing a lot of these online banks, trying to figure out who's the best solution. Obviously, one of the biggest things you look for is FDIC, if they are FDIC insured, and you should be able to see that member FDIC. What that means is that if you had $250,000 or less in this bank and the bank went under, you would be insured by the federal government. And that means they're applying by, they follow certain rules, they follow certain regulations, and I can trust my money in this bank, even though it's online. Let me just log on the back end of Grasshopper so you can see what this is like. So when you create your account, you'll have to enroll in their online banking. Then you go to log in. And you can see what the behind the scenes is like. Just created this recently. Nice. And I did a test from one account into this, and that incoming wire came in like a day, which was cool. I actually wired from Brex to here. Remember, wires on Brex were free, but I have to now transfer all my money over here. And yeah, the wire came in a day, which was cool. So this is what I like about it so far, right? This is going to be tracking. So this is going to have what Novo has, where it's kind of tracking your income that's coming in and your outgoing, not necessarily your profit and loss statement, but just what's coming in and what's going out. This is like that net worth for this business. This company is a management company for all of my other real estate properties and all my other real estate businesses that this is going to be managing. So a lot of the funds are going to be coming in here. What I like about this, if we go into, so you can send, let's see, PayView lock debit cards. Let's check out card management. I don't think I've gotten a debit card yet. Might be click above to create the card. Nice. So you can create a card, create a virtual card here. So it still has the benefits of Novo for creating virtual cards. This is the nice part, right? You can go to support, talk to live chat. This is what I was telling you, like getting that support. You just come here, talk to a human. You fill out this information, you're able to talk to humans. So that's pretty cool in that regard. Go back to my dashboard. Let's see. All right. Those are the different accounts. What do I want to know? To transfer funds in and out, you just go to transfer, bill pay, send a wire. So as you can see, the fee for an outgoing domestic wire is $10, which is not bad. That's not bad at all. I think that's pretty fair. Let's see what else. You can add on the Access Manager side, which is pretty cool. You can add other people here to your team. So if you have an accountant, if you have a VA, you can give them certain view access. Just adding a user. Dual approvals. So if there was somebody that was going to be logging in here, or you have an account with multiple people. And so this is a situation where in order for me to log in, and let's say it's my wife and my business, and we both need to approve me logging in. And this is just another layer of security. If you have multiple people in your business and you obviously don't want one of your partners to run off with all the money and you want everybody to have access, then you set up something like this where you set up a dual approval. So that way you and your other partners, you need everybody's access, or not everybody, but you need at least one of those other people to give you access to actually log in. So that way it's easy to see who's logging in, who's doing whatever adjustments. It's just another layer of security, which is pretty cool. Auto books, I think this is them trying to do like their QuickBooks stuff. I personally haven't used it yet. I have a bookkeeper who manages all this stuff that I connect all these accounts into QuickBooks. She takes care of it. But if maybe you were doing this on your own, you didn't want to pay for QuickBooks, you could look into auto books and then just use Grasshopper Bank. That's on you guys. And again, I haven't played with AutoBooks, so I couldn't give a full review of that. At the end of the day, it's pretty simple. I mean, it's an online account. I've kind of gone through what I like about it. You've got to see the navigation of what everything is like. The reason that I like Grasshopper, and I'll go into some pros and cons. So the pros are that they also don't limit me. There's not limits for wires. There's not limits for ACH transfers. They do charge like $10 to send a wire, but that's not bad. So overall, like I wanted a nice online solution that didn't limit me. Now we go into the problems. Problems are that this is a new online bank. So their website has a lot of bugs. I don't want to say a lot of bugs, but their website has bugs. They have issues. So I am communicating with support. What I do like about their support is that their support is very communicative. It's easy to get a hold of their support every time through chat or through phone call or through email. They respond to me super quickly. I'm honestly on like a naming basis with one of their support guys, Gabriel. We've been like chatting back and forth for a while. So their support's great. Yeah, there's some startup issues with this bank, but so far I'm happy with the communication that they've had with me. And I'm happy because they're not putting those limits. So if you're like me and you don't want limits, you want an online bank, you want to be able to, like I created 3 online banks in a day, 3 online accounts in a day for my 3 different businesses, all inside of Grasshopper. With each of those, now it's like, boom, I can just get moving. So if you're trying to move quickly, and like I said, you have these out-of-state businesses, you don't necessarily need to go into a branch to open up a business account, which is going to be very hard. If you live in California and you have an out-of-state business and you're trying to open up a Chase business account, you're going to have to go into the branch, right? So people ask me like my time is valuable and I don't necessarily need a Chase. If I already have one Chase business account for one of my businesses, I don't need it for all of them. Especially, it just depends what you're going to use it for, right? Especially if Chase charges you more for wires, they charge you for ACH transfers, they limit you on how many transfers you can send. Like Chase also has their own issues. And so I'm just out there trying to find better solutions for my needs. And if you're a small business owner like me, and you are building businesses outside of California, outside of your original state, then online banks are a very good solution for you, especially of how quick you can just spin up a business bank account. So there you go. I gave you 4 online banks that I had used before, and why I don't go with Novo, why Brex is shutting us down, why Bluevine, I don't go with them, and then why I'm sticking with Grasshopper. And if you have questions, drop it in the comments. If you have another bank that you've used online, doesn't limit you with outgoing or incoming transfers, it's easy to send out wires, you think you like the support, if you think there's a comparable bank, please send it over here. I'd love to check it out. I'm always looking for future banks to partner with. If there's things you want to see more of, message me as well. I appreciate you guys watching this video, and I hope you got something out from it. If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Cheers.